Not happening. It's not fucking happening. So I get to clean up. All right, let's rock and roll. Hello, ballers and a bro fist to you all, for it is Monday, which means we are back in the fucking place, doing the stuff, talking about games, and generally keeping that real world at bay. Because there's nothing I hate more than the real world interfering with games. Because I just want to have fun. It's my life, I want to have some good times, and sometimes I want to kick back, I want to crack open a beer, be it at work, be it outside, be it somewhere you can access the interwebs. And I want to talk about dog shit stuff like games and things that are important to me other than what I do during the day. So the whole point of the daily is to kick back and do that. I've got 3 things to cover today. 3 things that I think are really important. I'm going to try and fit them in. We should be okay. We should be okay. First things first, it was of course Father's Day over the weekend here in the UK and sure other parts of the world. Happy Father's Day to all you wonderful people. I am not quite yet a father and therefore was not expecting anything to happen. I know, I got gypped, man. It's bullshit. But Emma did me proud. Emma did me proud on Sunday and did in fact throw me a Father's Day just for me, for the newly born baby. Or unborn baby, I should say. Newly unborn baby. It's a weird thing, right? It's a weird thing that most people I spoke to who were enjoying Father's Day, they wanted one thing. And I think this is testament to the guys out there who pull their fucking weight. Who are doing their thing, right? Not the guys who are dads who don't do shit. The guys who do their stuff and keep things fucking real. All I wanted, and so did every other father in the world, was to do nothing. Just leave me the fuck alone. What do you want for Father's Day? You know what I really want? I just want you to not ask me to do anything today. That's all I want in the whole fucking world, is for you to just leave me the shit alone. Just leave me the fuck alone. That's all I want. I was like, Ghost, what are you doing today for Father's Day? I'm not doing shit. I want to be treated like a dog. Quite literally. I want you to feed me, and then I want you to just leave me alone. That's it. That's all I want in the world. I want to be fed and left the fuck alone. That's all I want in the universe. So I did. I didn't do anything on Sunday work related. I did a little bit of stuff with my mother coming to visit. Ooh, sad stuff. And then I built a bit of the nursery. I'm going to do a video for you of the nursery because Emma's really proud of it. She's done a wonderful job. I've done my man stuff and put shelves and shit up and all that kind of stuff. So I'll do a little video for the other channel and stick that up there for you. But what I did do is I delved into a game that I wanted to play. But I wanted to wait until my reservations about this game wore off. Because it was so badly reviewed that I was terrified of playing it. It was so hammered into the ground by everybody who fucking reviewed it that I felt it was necessary that I sit down and play it without any preconceptions of what this game might be. And I sat down and I played Duke Nukem Forever. Duke Nukem Forever. Played it on the Xbox 360. Sat down and played Duke Nukem Forever. It's alright. It's fucking alright. And what I did, actually out of interest, I went and read the reviews of the game when it came out because I remember the reaction this game got. About it, it's just horrible. It's the worst game I've ever fucking played in my life. So it's just nothing. It's not a testament to Duke Nukem at all. It's got janky gameplay, let's be honest, right? But I want to put a question to you guys. Has there ever been an FPS story game that has had good driving in it? Ever? Because even Half-Life 2's driving sections are fucking awful. They're so bad. That little car is terrible. That whole section of the game was so boring. It really was. And that is the worst part of Duke Nukem for me, is the driving part. Not even in the little RC trailer. If you've never played it before, you become small and you drive a little RC car that looks like your car. The monster truck bits I thought were horrible. Such a short game as well. I managed to near enough finish it. But it had everything I was expecting from Duke Nukem. Duke Nukem themed vibrators. I thought it was funny. I was fine with that. Loads of little tidbits, the posters all around, slapping alien tits. The aliens are stealing our fucking women, only the hot ones. I thought those were nice little touches. It was like, they're stealing our women, but only the hot ones. And turning them into alien pregnators and all that kind of stuff. There's even a 3-titted boss. A nice tribute to Total Recall, a giant boss queen with 3 boobs. Just little things like that. I thought it was fine. I thought it was okay. I was fine with it. I played through it, had a fucking great old time in it. It's old as balls. I'm not bothered about spoilers. But I think it's one of those games that people were like, Duke Nukem, it's been waiting. This is what we've been waiting for 12 years or however long it was. And everybody was expecting some masterpiece of gaming. Something incredible. Something that we'd yearned for. It wasn't ever like that. Duke Nukem, did you think Duke Nukem was a masterpiece of gaming? Do you really think the original Duke Nukem was a masterpiece of gaming? No. It wasn't that good. It really wasn't. It was alright. It wasn't a fucking masterpiece. I didn't replay it 100,000 million times because it was such a fucking good game. It was just pretty funny. It was just a funny little shoot 'em up, and that's all this one is. It's a funny little shoot 'em up, and I quite enjoyed it. It was alright. It was nothing to write home about. It's not worth a second playthrough, especially because the jokes wear off. But overall, I thought it was fine. I thought it was cool. So if you have it lying in your library and you've never played it, if you have it lying there and you've never played it, recommend it. It's just pretty fun. It's pretty fun. It's nothing special, all right? It's not BioShock Infinite. It's not Metro Last Light. It's nothing like that. It's just a nice fun, and it is genuinely funny in a lot of places. Genuinely really funny. I thought it was fine. It was a nice afternoon played. I thought it was pretty cool. Onwards. Elemental Shamans. Now, I know we've definitely got one Elemental Shaman lying in lurk in the chat stream somewhere. I know he's there, and he always comes along whenever we're doing things, Elemental Shamans. People know, historically, I hate Shamans, like, really badly. It's hard to put my finger on why, but I have always found Shamans to be very clunky and not really found their place in the world. I kind of find the same way with Druids, although Druids have kind of broken that perception. With Shamans, it's always really difficult for me to enjoy them properly because they don't seem to... Because they're so hybrid. They're the original hybrid spec, right? This is back when you were a hybrid spec. What does that mean? You were never supposed to be a full healer, even as a Resto Shaman. You were a buff class, a support class. That was your job. You were there to throw out some heals and do things like drop Wind Fury Totem, Hail Wind Fury Totem, drop things like buffs, keep people organized, depoison, just drop totems as and when necessary, be it just a support awesome class. That's what you're supposed to do. But then it was like, oh, we need all these specs to work. Right? We need them to work. Do you know how many Paladin specs worked in vanilla? One. Everybody had one spec that worked. That was it, right? Druids, you were a healer. Healing Touch rank 4, represent old school Druids. Healing Touch rank 4. And so we started getting to this era of, hey, you know what? We need every spec to work. And Shamans haven't really caught up. Which is sad, right? They've not really caught up and they've kind of been messed up. And I fucking hate enhancement. It's terrible. But Elemental Shaman was horrible to level. Oh, God. Anybody who watched me do live stream February will know that I tried to level as Elemental. It was the most horrific fucking experience of my life. Hated that. Fucking hated it. And so I had to go enhancement to level, which I don't like anyway. I had to go enhancement to level. And then I hit level 90 and I went out of focus, which was really cool at the time because it was in the middle of a show. And I hit level 90 and I started gearing up for Redstone Elemental first. And then I started playing Elemental. What a fucking load of fun that spec is. It is so much fun. I'm doing the video is should you roll an Elemental Shaman, which is kind of bringing us to the end of the ranged classes. Such a lot of fun. They're horrible to level. They are. They're disgusting to fucking level. They're horrible to get going with, but once you get some fucking gear and you start smashing faces, oh, what a blast! Absolute fucking blast of a spec. I love it. I love it. I've been playing Elemental non-stop. I'm still wearing a couple of pieces of agility gear. Doesn't matter. When you start getting, it's just the little things I want to talk about briefly. I'm doing a full video on it, but it's the little things like when you get some mastery. If you've got like, if you know what your mastery does, it like doubles your fucking attack. So sometimes you'll fire off a spec and suddenly your character just goes turret mode, baby, and he's fucking hammering into the boss. And this lava burst and elemental blast flying all over the fucking all over the place, and it's great. It's absolutely great when that happens because it's just a shitload of fun. And that's alright. It's not an overly complex class, let's face facts. It isn't, right? It's not the most difficult spec in the world to play. Talents are really boring. They are. Shaman talents fucking suck. But that doesn't matter because it's such a fucking fun spec to lay down with and relax with. This is kind of my new Survival Hunter. In Kata, Survival Hunter was the spec I could play and just enjoy I would just sit back and be like, hey, let's just shoot some shit off and we'll be fine and dandy. DPS is all pretty cool. Ellie Shaman is definitely my new survival hunter. I could play that thing for hours without even using a brain cell. But that's not a negative thing. It's not like a boring spec. Sometimes it's like I don't need to think about it too much because it's a boring spec. That's not the case with the Ellie Shaman. It's fun. It's always fun. Ascendance is fun. Blowing things up, popping fire alleys, the burst is fun. And it's simple and fun. And I fucking love it. And I can't wait for you guys to see the video on that. I hope you're really going to like it. Let's move on to the main topic. The worst thing ever has happened to World of Warcraft. I mean, really bad. Really, really bad. Any of you probably think this is a good thing. And you'll have seen this come up on MMO Champion. And it's not something Blizzard have done either. It isn't something Blizzard have done either. This is something that a website has done. A website has decided to introduce something that they think is a good idea. And you know what? In terms of generating people to go to a website and generate money, yep, it is a good thing. Because putting useless information in the hands of the fucking masses always starts people talking. Fuck you, wowprogress. Fuck you. Seriously. Go and fucking shoot yourself. What a horrible fucking decision this is. My God. I cannot even imagine why on earth you would do this other than to generate revenue. This is just horrible. Absolutely horrible. What is it? wowprogress used to be gearscore.com, okay, and still essentially is. Gearscore removed from the game because it was fucking horrible. Because people who didn't know any better than anything would use Gearscore to measure value, okay? Gearscore was there to measure value. They then introduced item level score, where you could look at the best geared person in the world. I cannot imagine anything more arbitrarily useless than checking who has the most gear by wearing pieces of gear that aren't even for their spec. If you don't know that people did this to win rankings on wowprogress, then you're not up to speed. Very often you would find a lot of people like DPS DKs logged out with huge tanking trinkets that are dropped 1,000,000 times. Best in slot gear that has absolutely no relevance to their spec at all in order to get a very, very impressive gear score, because it's oh so important. It's oh so important. So wowprogress, a site I love. I love tracking how overall guilds are doing, which bosses are they all stuck on. I love what it was there for, which was to track guild progress. Decided to take it that one step further. They decided to input sim-crafted data, which, as we know, is the most useful and reliable source for any information concerning World of Warcraft. Something that we should definitely base every decision we make on Simcraft, right? That's what we should do. Because it's on a spreadsheet. And it gives us a fucking number. And it's definitely 100% accurate of what happens in a raid. They decided to plug everybody's gear into Simcraft and then rank people on their potential Simcrafted results. Now, I'm going to show you what this has come up with. What class definitely needs a nerf? Windwalker monks, right? I know, you're all the tip of your tongue. Those Windwalker monks definitely abusing the shit out of us. Look at that. Oh, look at all those Windwalkers. They're so fucking overpowered. Them Windwalkers are so overpowered. Look at them. Look at them dominating the Simcrafted score. They are just creaming the fucking crop. Yeah, the mages and Windwalkers need a nerf. Need a nerf. Who happens to be the top? Who happens to be number one? Mr. Just Wait from Method. A wonderful guy who happens to be on my Skype is number one in the world. Mr. Justway is #1 in the fucking world. I luckily sent Mr. Justway a message to say, look at this guy, best DPS in the world. It was literally the most sarcastic conversation I've had in ages. The most sarcastic, ridiculous conversation I've had in ages about how awesome it is to be smashing the sim-crafted results. Now, why am I bringing this up and why is it important? Why am I bringing it up and why is this important, okay? This is important because instantly we have had the quote from the general WoW public. I love the addition of sim-crafted ratings. It's more stuff for people to show Blizzard. Only in this case they actually have a point because we have data. Clearly from this we can see that mages and monks need some major adjustments. Quote of the fucking year. Quote of the fucking year. This is what happens. This is what you have done, WoW Progress, is you have given people, a lot of people who don't understand the technicalities and practical applications of Simcraft, a lot of data. A lot of data. Numbers, blind numbers, and you gave them a rank. There is nothing worse than the fact that you gave them numbers and a rank. And guess what? There are only, on my page right now, there are only 2 classes represented in the top 23 in the world of Simcrafted data. What do you think the average Joe, who by the no fault of their own doesn't know any better, thinks when they do not see their own class? How many DKs are out there? How many of you are out there who've just rolled the game and you've leveled up to 55 and suddenly, what do you see? Hero class. That hero class shining brightly in your face. Shining ever so well. Looking so delicious. Because he says death in his name. Right above it. It's the opening word is death. And you've come straight from your Xbox. You put down that Call of Duty pad and you picked up World of Warcraft. Now you're going to play some PC, little Billy. Little Billy's going to play some PC. He picked some arbitrary class, probably a warrior, from that character select screen. And got himself to 55. And then what's this? What does he see? A new class is unlocked. Then it must be amazing. A new class unlocked on my account. I earned an achieve. And not an arbitrary achieve like kill 5 people with a throwing knife from 100 meters. No, this took time and effort to level to 55. Now I'm going to roll me. Now I'm going to roll me this newly unlocked, bound to be superior class, the Death Knight. And look at his glowing eyes. This is everything I want. But what's this I see? I should visit MMO Champion, they say. MMO Champion is showing WoW progress. But what is this I see in these sim-crafted results? No Death Knights. Not a DK among them, but I am a hero class. How can this be? Clearly, these classes need a nerf. Clearly something is wrong here. Clearly something must be done, and this word will spread like a fucking virus. This is horrible. This actually is detrimental to the community. This is terrible for the game. This is why it's important. This is definitely horrible for the fucking game, man. This is just the craziest thing I've ever seen. I don't understand. I understand from a money point of view why this is something people do. Because there will be millions upon millions of players flooding eventually to see where they are. And when they do, because that's all it's for, is to see where you are. Where am I in terms of my sim-crafted potential DPS? Where am I? Because this is how much DPS I should do, right? That's what people will take away from this. This is how much DPS I should do. According to the website, which, let's face it, is on the internet, ergo it's science, I should be doing something like 273,000 DPS. But I'm not doing 273,000 DPS. How can this be? I don't understand. How can this be? I don't get it. And suddenly a whole world of problems start. A whole world of issues. are just a crazy amount. I need more gear. Did you know that every time I get a new piece of gear, suddenly my DPS rockets by 70,000? But I didn't see a 70k DPS increase. This is madness. This doesn't make any sense. I am totally startled, shocked, and or stunned at the same time. Worst thing I can possibly fucking imagine. I just don't get it. Oh, this almost makes me sick. It does. I love the WoW Progress site, but this makes me sick. Sim-crafted DPS numbers open to the public. Simcraft was cool, right? Simcraft was cool because even if you weren't sure what to use Simcraft for, finding the best gems, what is slightly better gear, those kind of things are cool. Although eventually common sense comes into play. Good idea is Warlocks, right? Oh, I should gem this way for Warlocks, but I need to do super burst here. Common sense comes in. I'll spec more mastery as Demonology so I can blow the shit out of things. That's cool. But you only arrive there after a certain amount of time. Only arrive at something like Simcraft. The fact that it's a spreadsheet is off-putting to people. That's what's great about it. It's a spreadsheet that you have to do stuff to. People hate that. The average player fucking hates that. They don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I love this game. I care about this stuff. I don't want to do that. But now it's done for me. Yes! It's done for me. But this isn't right. It could even be off-putting to players who look at something like, I should be doing, according to Simcraft, 100 plus K DPS, but I'm only pulling around 60. What's going on here? Am I that bad? It could turn people away. Maybe it'll have the option of people trying harder. Maybe. Maybe. But how far away are you? If you say you're supposed to do 120k and you're only doing 60k, maybe. Maybe you're going to be about this game. I'm really shit at this game now. I don't want to play. I don't want to play anymore. Oh, man. Yeah. Learn your rotation. Yeah, according to Simcraft, the top 100 players are all mages and monks. People are going to be crying for nerfs. This is so bad. It's so bad for the game. Gear score is the gear score one is bad enough, but it's fine because it doesn't actually reflect anything. Anybody can get a high gear score. It doesn't matter about your class or your spec. The gear score one is fine because it's irrelevant. Why you want to find that information is on you. Why you care who is the best geared, who has had the best drops, right, in the game. Whatever you want to find that information out for is entirely on you. Surprise, surprise, most of them are in the heroic raiding guilds. I know, right? Weird. So that's fine. But to actually stick potential DPS numbers next to it, to actually bunch up all the classes together to be monks and mages, that can't be good. That cannot be fucking good. That is just shockingly bad, and it really makes me fucking sad. It really makes me sad that such a popular site has endorsed this. And I hope it doesn't fucking stick around. I really hope it doesn't stick around. Before we finish up, didn't do bad there with my 3 things. Thought that was pretty good. Before we finish up, I just want to say the daily is back to 5. I want to see your thoughts on this. Some of you might be totally the opposite. It's like, I understand Simcraft. I'm sure people who understand Simcraft are going to be like, this is okay. I don't get what purpose this serves. I don't. Especially as it's showing monks and stuff at the top. My God. How many monks? I mean, monks aren't low DPS. Let's get one thing straight. They're not. In fact, the very, very well-geared monks are usually in the top 5 of their raids. But this is showing that every monk in the world should be number 1. And mages. And that kind of thing. It's just so bad. I want to see your opinion on this. How far can this information go? How bad is this going to be for your average Joe community? The guys who don't know any better and just see a number that's more than everybody else. They just see a number. What are your thoughts and your opinions on that? I really want to know. I really want to think about that. Again, the daily is back to 5 p.m. GMT. That's noon Eastern Standard Time. For those guys on the other side of the world, that's noon Eastern Standard Time. You can work it away from there. On top of that is Web Show Week. There is a web show this weekend. Hopefully this week we will go uninterrupted. Again, I apologise for last web show being interrupted. We missed that big Q&A, which is my favourite bit. That kind of sucks. I missed it. I love doing the Q&A with you guys and just generally kicking back and having a chat after we've done the transmogs and all that. We should be fine. We should be fine. In other good news, me and Ghosty have written our very first PG video. It has been completed. The script is done. And we're going to start filming on Thursday. Hopefully that will be out really quickly. I'm loving to see what your response is to that. It's going to be totally different from what you're used to, I think. Totally different to what you're used to. Again, I apologize for not streaming, but I want to say this, and I kind of want your thoughts and opinions on this. I have an abundance of games right now, and some of you are noticing that on the streams that the other guys are doing, I've had to take a step back from streaming a little bit. Is that there are all kinds of different games going on. In the recent months, we've had something like 40 different games played across our streams. Well, everybody seems to be playing Skyrim right now, except for me. I've been playing other games all over the place and loving it. We still want to do that in some fashion. I enjoyed it, but it nearly killed my channel. I almost had to give up being YouTuber Mr. Preacher because of streaming. I had to take a step back from that. But we still want to fit it in somewhere. Would you prefer... This is what we want to know. A day a week where we stream and kick back and play different games. Either one of us, or me in particular. Ghosty gets a little bit of streaming time on a Wednesday. Dor can stream whenever he can. But I know some of you want to see me streaming as well. I totally get that. Do you want to see me streaming for one day a week, maybe? That I can fit it in. Or do you want us to just upload stuff to a YouTube channel of us not streaming, but playing all these different games? Because either way, I don't want to give up playing different games. But I need to keep my time to YouTube, especially right now. So I really want to see your opinions on that. If you could leave me a comment and let me know what you would prefer to see. Would you rather have it YouTube based, or would you rather have it YouTube like, this is the choice, right? YouTube like every day, like a video a day, so you get something 7 days a week, or one day a week where I stream. And you can chat and go back and forth. The obvious difference is you only get one day a week of streaming, but you get the back and forth interaction, which is really what the most popular thing was while I was streaming. Or we just prefer to see video content of various different games with commentary and stuff like that. So let me know what you think, okay? I'll do a tally up at the end of the week and see what's going to be best. Alright guys, that's me done for today. There's an Elemental Shaman video coming out today in about an hour and a half. It's nearly finished, I just need to render it. In about an hour and a half, and of course a mailbox today. Go back onto 2 videos, and then I'm not going to announce anything. Alright, okay. Take it easy, guys. Be good. Have a great day. And please let me know what you think of WoW Progress and what you think about streaming. And get your Brofist sent in. Let's have some Brofist and transmogs at this week's web show. I would love to see those. Have a good day, guys. Be good. Take it easy. Bye, daddies. Happy Father's Day.